There's a lot to talk about with the Yankees and a lot to talk about our Philadelphia Phillies, because why would any New York fan want to see the Astros, a cheating organization, win another championship and shut everybody up? We want to see the Philadelphia Phillies win. Bryce Harper, the baby boy, winning his curly-ass beard because he won the MVP last year, and why not win a championship coming back from an injury throughout this season? It's been fantastic. It's been something great to watch after going down 5-0 against Justin Verlander. I'm just so excited about Philadelphia. If you're a Philadelphia fan, or if you're not a Philadelphia fan, I know a lot of Met fans don't want to root on Philadelphia. I understand that. Does the Met fans really want to see the Astros win? Do you want to see the Astros win?
I like the underdog story for the Phillies. I'm not passionately caring either way. There's two things I like with the Astros. Dusty Baker, I like the story for him if he can finally get a World Series. And Trey Mancini, considering all he had to go through going through the cancer treatments, would be good to see him get a ring too. The Phillies are a nice underdog story. The main reason isn't really because they're the Phillies that I wouldn't care. I just really don't want to see Noah Syndergaard win a ring after he ran his mouth all year.
Noah Syndergaard and Zachy Wheel.
I don't even mind Zach Wheeler though, because Zach Wheeler got a lot better than he with the Phillies than he was with the Mets
today.
But Noah Syndergaard, it didn't seem like he was going to leave the organization on a sour note, and then all of a sudden he just likes to take shots.
I like Zach Wheeler, and the money that he got from Philadelphia, the Mets should have signed him.
Yeah, it seemed like a lot at the time. Now it's a bargain.
1 year from now, he will be getting another extension, and I'm sure if the Philadelphia Phillies don't pay him, there are quite a few teams that will pay him, because this guy is a number one. He is an ace. Could you imagine him on that Mets team right now with Scherzer and DeGrom? How good that pitching staff would be. I'm very excited for Philadelphia. I want to see Philly win. I know the Philadelphia fans are not the best fans, but to watch this Astros team lose finally, and you don't see Gurriel dancing around in the dugout and dancing with that floppy hair, and he's so annoying. Altuve dancing around the base pads. I don't want to see that. I want to see Philadelphia win this championship, and I could just laugh at all the fake Astro fans around here in New York who can't stand the Yankees and loved when they swept the Yankees. Now, let's get into the New York Yankees. I don't know what's going to happen to Aaron Judge. A lot of people think that the Yankees are going to do everything they can to keep Aaron Judge. I don't think the Yankees should overdo any contract with this guy. He is 31 years old. Yes, the last 2 years he's been healthy. When you extend him, that's when all the injuries start to happen. He is 6'7", 280 pounds of muscle. This guy is an athletic beast. What happens 2-3 years down the road when his body starts to break down? You're going to pay this guy 7 years, $49 million, and he's the highest paid player in the MLB? It doesn't make sense. If you're a Yankee fan, I understand why the Yankees want to bring Judge back with everything that he's done. Broke the 61 home run record, and now he has the record in the American League at 62. Almost won the batting title. He almost won the Triple Crown. That's great. He really carried the Yankees in August when they fell apart. One player doesn't win championships. It was proven this year. He couldn't hit in the playoffs. He's never hit in the playoffs. This guy is hit for average pretty much his whole career. You know what his career in the playoffs is? And he's played in quite a few playoffs. 211. That doesn't buy championships. The Yankees need to find guys that can hit for average in the playoffs again. Good pitching. They have to. Benintendi and DJ LeMahieu, they lost him for the whole playoffs. That hurt him. The rotation played very well, but the bullpen, they had some weaknesses. They lost Michael King. They had the best bullpen in baseball before Michael King got hurt. As soon as Michael King got hurt, he was the 7th inning guy, sometimes 8th. He was a shutdown guy. I believe he's the closer of the future for the Yankees. I think Holmes is an 8th inning guy. And then they have Loizaga and Peralta, Chad Green, which they lost this year. I think the bullpen really hurt them this year. Now, when they get their pitchers back, I think it'll be good. And they'll add another pitcher in the offseason that'll fill in certain spots for them. But they're going to go at it again next year. And if they could stay healthy, which they didn't do this year, maybe they beat the Astros finally. It's hard when you see the Astros go to the World Series, and even if they lose, they swept the Yankees. When was the last time you've seen the Yankees get swept?
Not in my lifetime.
And that just shows you where baseball is, but it's going to be different. It's going to be a different game next year. There is going to be new rules. There's one rule that I love, and I know you hate it. Why do you hate it?
I always like growing up watching baseball because of strategy. It's one of the most intellectual games when it comes to lineups, defensive alignments, the combinations of scenarios that could happen. I always thought that if you should be able to adjust for anything, for pitching and hitting, you should be able to do it for defense too.
I love it for baseball because no shifting opens up the field, opens up more hits, more runs, more offense. Now you're going to have the big boppers like the Joey Gallos of the world that only hit in one area. You can't shift the ball anymore. So he's going to get more hits. He's going to hit for better average.
Joey Gallo all-star season incoming.
I don't know about that, but Anthony Rizzo, another guy that doesn't hit for average. Right. Next year, I bet you he hits 3 points higher than he ever did. It will benefit some of these hitters. Could you imagine how much better Aaron Judge is going to be without a shift? I know you want to strategize it, but strategize it as a hitter where you could put the ball where you want to put the ball now and not worry about it.
Strategizing for the hitting, you have so many hitters now that are developed to be able to pull the ball, and somebody like Joey Gallo, who was a top prospect at the time for Texas, never really developed because he never had a complete thing outside of the power. He has more home runs in his career than singles. That says a lot when it comes to him not being able to put contact on the ball, and a lot of these hitters are being developed that same kind of thing. Now, as far as the Yankees youngsters, we've seen some of them be the opposite so far. Cabrera, Peraza, when they've been hitting, have been actually pretty good contact hitters so far. Now, they didn't show it hitting-wise in the playoffs as much, but again, they're young. Yeah, they're rookies. Give them a chance. Definitely
that's
the
the future.
Changes.
If I were the Yankees, I don't go spend a lot of money this offseason. If you lose Aaron Judge, let Tejon go, let Savarino go. Keep your bullpen arms. Add maybe a bullpen arm. Add a pitcher, not a top pitcher, but a decent pitcher.
Maybe trade for a pitcher on a rental.
Save some money. Go into the offseason next year with all the money that you possibly can have, where you could go after a Soto or Ohtani or maybe even both of them. Where you can really shut people off.
Yankee fans can't complain anymore about Brian Cashman being cheap.
And they'll still win because even with the team that they have now, maybe you don't bring Rizzo back because you have DJ LeMahieu who you can move to first base and then buy out Josh Donaldson, and you have Cabrera, you have Peraza, then you bring up Volpe, Dominguez. You bring up your nucleus up where you can build and see who belongs here, who doesn't belong here. You build around those young players, a.k.a. the New York Yankees in the 90s with Bernie Williams, Jorge Posada, and Derek Jeter, and Andy Pettit and Mariano Rivera. They put a core around a bunch of veteran players, and I think that's what the Yankees need to do. Cabrera's a nice player. I think he's going to be good. Peraza is a great defensive player. I would put him at second. Volpe is a great defensive player too, and he can hit. You put him at short. Your whole infield is your farm system. You bring Trevino back. He's a good catcher. He works very good with the younger players and the younger pitchers. He'd be a leader on this team. Can't really get rid of Aaron Hicks right now because he can't stay healthy. But when he does,
he doesn't have any trade value right now.
He's only getting $10 million. He's still a pretty good outfielder. So if he plays well this coming year, you trade him. Then you have Giancarlo Stanton as one of your leaders, Trevino. And then you have DJ LeMahieu. Then the year after, you bring in a Soto, bring in a Ohtani, pitcher/hitter. You'd really boost your team again. Could you imagine Soto, Ohtani, and Giancarlo Stanton? It's a pretty good lineup. Why wouldn't the Yankees do that? And they'll have a lot of money to spend that year, so they can get both of them.
And you get Ohtani, who essentially moves into either 1A, 1B with Garrett Cole as a pitcher, too.
Then you add your pitchers. You have Cortez there because I think they'll bring him back. He'll be your third guy. They always have a shutdown bullpen. This year, they just got hurt all at the same time. Chad Green's out for the season. King. So the Yankees are positioned very, very well next year, and that's why Aaron Boone's coming back. I think that House says, let's throw him on the Wolves again, and if he fails this coming year, they fire him. I read what Derek Jeter said. He believes that Aaron Boone is the guy. He said that Aaron Boone, if there's anybody that can get this team to play for him, it's Aaron. It's not the manager that plays for the players. It's the players that play for the players. It's not the manager's fault that the players aren't hitting. And that's what Derek said. The players play. If the players are playing, they're winning. It's not because of the manager. The manager makes mistakes, yes. He's got to control the bullpen. But that wasn't Aaron Boone. The pitching was not bad.
Right. Outside of the one that you were complaining about, the Clark Schmidt thing, I think that was really the only blunder he had badly in the playoffs.
I think he was very good. I still think he's one of the top 5 managers in baseball. And if the Yankees fire him,
he'll be added to the White Sox in a heartbeat.
He'll be on everybody's list for a manager, besides the Mets, because they still have Buck. But
right.
Dusty's getting old. I could see Aaron Boone going to the Astros.
If they win, he could retire on top. Yeah, that's possible.
Absolutely. There's a lot of opportunity. That's why I think Joe Girardi's going to come back, because I think there's going to be a lot of openings this offseason.
Well, his kind of style works, especially if you're seeing the Phillies doing what they're doing now, and you see the Yankees sparking the way they have the last 5 years since Girardi left, too. They've been consistent as a team.
Are you reading this whole thing about Aaron Judge and the players thinking that Yankee Stadium was a toxic environment throughout the playoffs? I think the Yankee fans are horrible. I think there's a lot of Yankee fans that take things to a whole nother level. But you are multi-million-dollar players. We're paying your salaries to go to these baseball games, paying our TV deals to watch you play in the playoffs. Play the game. Don't complain about the fans. They could boo you to the end. We're fans. We pack the stadiums. We pay your salaries. Why are you complaining about it? Aaron Judge wants to cry about it? Then go cry in San Francisco. You're a professional baseball player. You want to make $50 million a year. Play the game. Play hard.
His agent wants to get him 500.
Yeah, good luck on that.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening. Market value right now is 8 years, 320. Even if there is a bidding war, it's not going to get higher than 350.
If he was 27 years old, he would get it. Aaron Judge would get the second $500 million contract in sports history. Mahomes got a $500 million contract. But his is bigger. All guaranteed. But stop being a baby. You didn't lose because of the fans. You lost because you couldn't hit. You couldn't hit against a team that has a superior pitching staff right now because you're not healthy and your bullpen stinks because they can't stay healthy.